Hey guys, Dr. Holly here. I'm an associate professor of medicine at CU Anschutz Health and Wellness Center, and I'm co-founder of the transformational weight loss program called Stay to Slim. And we are doing our recap of week 5. Larry and Kathie J are going through the 16-week transformational Stay to Slim program with us, and I am following them every single week. So we are in week 5. Week 5 is a huge week. It's a very important week. It's the week we talk about the power of the environment. You know, the physical environment, anything that you kind of come in contact with at home, at work, in your car, the physical stuff in our environment. Many people don't realize, but it has a huge effect on our behaviors. And it's kind of stealth, right? You don't even know it. It's kind of secret. It affects what we do, and we don't even realize it. So this week is about really understanding how the environment is influencing your behaviors. And if you're trying to do a new behavior, like eat differently, like get more physical activity in, like have a positive mindset, how can you use your environment to help you? Because our current environment most of the time is actually pushing us to be unhealthy. It's actually pushing us the other way, and we're having to push back or use willpower so that we don't do the unhealthy behaviors. So this week was all about Kathie J and Larry taking a closer look at their environment and saying, what am I going to change to help me in this journey? How am I going to set my environment up to where it's creating healthy as the easiest thing I can do, not the unhealthy option as being the easiest thing to do? And like I said, a lot of times we don't even realize it. For instance, lots of science about this, lots of studies about this. Size of your plates, size of your cups, size of your bowls. The bigger your plate, the bigger your bowl, the more you eat. You don't even realize it. It's stealth. You don't even know you're doing it. But lots of good science to say by just even decreasing the size of your plate, you put less portion on it. The portion looks bigger on a smaller plate, and you eat less. Lots of good science there kind of showing that influence. Great example of how that environment is having an influence on how much we eat that we don't even know it. They've done the same thing looking at people and bags of popcorn, looking at bowls of things in front of you. If there's something in front of you and it's really easy access and you can see it, the first thing you see, you're going to eat more of it than if you put it in a lower drawer, you put it across the hall. So you want to have the things you want to eat, the healthier options, front and center, easy to get to, convenient, right? And the things that are less healthy, harder to get to. We want the healthy options to be the easiest, to be the default, that you have to spend a little bit more energy to get to the unhealthy options. Other examples, I always say, if you're trying to get up early and exercise, where are your workout clothes? Are they front and center, the first thing you see when you open your closet door, easy to get to? Or are you like digging around in the corner trying to find 2 matching socks? Which type of environment would help you, make it more likely that you would be able to get up and exercise? So this week was really all about the power of the environment. They had already done the No TV, which is a huge environmental influencer in so many ways. So they had that experience, and it was about going into their home and saying, well, how can I set it up? How can I set it up so that it's helping me, not hurting me? How can I make healthy the default? If you understand how your environment influences you, you can do that. So great week. The other thing that they talked about, and that really tend to have the big impact this week, was the candy baby. I think you saw a picture of the candy baby. This is where they put their favorite candies in a Ziploc bag, and they had to carry it around all week. So many people think it's about willpower. Everybody says, why are you making them do this? That's crazy. Are you just trying to strengthen their willpower? No, it has nothing to do with that. It's actually the opposite. The idea with this is when you have something that you can't control. In other words, when the physical environment is such that you can't control it, you get something that you have to be in contact with. For instance, I'm sitting at a conference and a cheesecake comes my way, right? They're giving cheesecakes to everybody, pieces of cheesecake at the end of a conference. I don't want it. I say, no, but boom, it pops down in front of me. What do you do in that moment when you don't control that physical environment is coming in front of you? You told them not to send it, but they did anyway. When that candy baby basically is sitting in front of you. Kathie did great. She immediately took her candy baby and she duct taped it. A lot harder. So she didn't have to use willpower all week. It was harder to get into, right? So lots of lessons. Candy Baby was a lesson in environment and how you use that, how you recognize it. It was not a lesson about increasing willpower. It's about actually sparing your willpower, doing something so that you don't have to use willpower, because you never know when your willpower is going to give out. And that's one of the biggest kind of lessons in Stay to Slim, is we're making it as easy as possible. We're creating an autopilot. We don't want want you to have to use a lot of willpower. We, if anything, want to save all the willpower you have, because you never know. Let's face it, you never know when you might need it, and we want to save it and use it wisely, is what I always say. So this week, week 5, all about the environment. You saw how they're doing. They're both doing great. They're both killing it. Very, very different journeys, but both going in and changing their environment to help them. The other big thing is team challenge, and this is something we do in Stay to Slim all the time. We do it as a big team, something the team as a group has got to do. So I put out a team challenge for Kathie and Larry to do 25,000 meters rowing, which if they had started at the very beginning is a very doable goal. But they didn't. They waited till Sunday. And then at Sunday, it was all of a sudden pretty hard. So they weren't able to achieve that goal. Interesting to see. And the thing that I talked about with them is, what did you learn from it? I always say, if you fail, if you fall, if something doesn't go as planned, they had to come in and tell me they didn't achieve it. They didn't hit their goal. They didn't hit their team goal. And I say, okay, what did you learn from it? And what they said to me is they learned, you know what, we got to start earlier. We can't just wait till the last minute, right? So huge learning. Let's see, I gave them a redemption challenge for this next week. Let's see if they're able to achieve it or not. So that's another thing that happened this week, those team challenges. I always say they're good for external motivation. Sometimes if you can't motivate yourself, but you're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for someone else on your team, that can be an external motivator that can be key for you. So that is another something that I want y'all to be thinking about. What is the take home for you this week? Well, I think the take home is to really think about your environment. If you're struggling doing anything, I don't care, it can be anything. You want to start meditating, you want to start getting up earlier for some reason, you want to go to bed earlier so you get more sleep, whatever behavior you're trying to do you have your environment set up to help you? Or is your environment actually making it more difficult? Set up your environment to help you. Think about how you can be very creative, how you can do something that's actually going to make it easier on you and make that change. So that would be my tidbit. Make an environmental change. Do something that is going to help you and make it easier for you in this month of December. Change one thing. I would love to see what you change. Put it out there. Show me what that environmental change is and how it's going to help you make things easier. All right, guys, next week is really an important week. We're going to see how they do on their redemption challenge. Do they come back through? We're going to be talking about routines and rituals. It's all about making this easier, and it's all about making whatever behavior you're trying to do, whether it's weight loss or something else, stick long term. Love y'all. See you next week. Bye.